You are listening to the highlights of today's Nassau Guardian news stories for Wednesday, December 3rd, 2025, brought to you by Your Daily Bahamas Headlines. Please remember to like, share, and follow our Facebook, WhatsApp, and YouTube channels at Your Daily Bahamas Headlines. This broadcast is produced especially for people on the go and the visually impaired. The Free National Movement is pressing the government for answers on a $1.56 million no-bid contract issued for air conditioning repairs and mold remediation at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Party Chairman Dr. Duane Sands says the government's explanation of urgency is inadequate and raises troubling questions. He argues that if there was time to get an external valuation to confirm the cost, there was also time to invite competitive bids from qualified Bahamian contractors. Sands is also questioning why the contract was routed through the Ministry of Finance instead of Works or Foreign Affairs, and why taxpayers are footing the bill for repairs to a building the government leases. He says the FNM will continue demanding accountability and transparency in public procurement. Father gets 4 years for indecent assault. A man has been sentenced to 4 years in prison for indecently assaulting his 12-year-old daughter back in 2012. The victim, now 25, testified that she woke up to her father committing inappropriate acts, including making her undress while he watched pornography. The judge ruled that a custodial sentence was warranted given the breach of trust. Haitian man charged with marriage fraud. A 25-year-old Haitian man has been accused of entering a fraudulent marriage to obtain immigration status. He pleaded not guilty and was granted bail with an ankle bracelet. The matter was discovered when the woman he allegedly married found out only while trying to register the birth of her child. Monroe downplays voter register concerns. Amid claims that canvassers could not locate more than 2,000 voters in the Golden Isles by-election, National Security Minister Wayne Monroe says this does not automatically mean the register is inaccurate. He suggests many residents may simply not have been at home. The parliamentary commissioner says the register is up to date, but leaders from both political parties acknowledge that people frequently move without updating their voter information. The turnout for the by-election was around 49%. Days-long sewage leak finally resolved on Dowdeswell Street. After several days of sewage pooling along Dowdeswell Street, water and sewerage crews finally cleaned the area yesterday. Residents say this is only one of many recurring leaks linked to the Malcolm Park pumping station. The corporation says an electrical fault caused the backup and that the situation has been sanitized and contained. Fatal accident on Western Road. A 34-year-old woman died following a collision on Western Road. Her vehicle overturned and she was partially ejected. She later died in hospital while the other driver sustained minor injuries. Elderly man attempts suicide at nursing home. An 80-year-old man at a Soldier Road nursing facility attempted suicide using a sharp object, but suffered only superficial injuries. He is now under further assessment. Sentencing arguments heard for ex-cop in murder plot. A former police constable convicted of conspiring to murder a romantic rival is awaiting his sentence. Prosecutors are recommending 40 years, while the defense is asking for 30. The judge will deliver the ruling on January 16th. The dangers of voter apathy. Today's editorial warns that declining turnout is becoming a troubling feature of Bahamian democracy. It notes that even when voters are contacted and encouraged, many still choose not to participate. The editorial argues that a disengaged electorate surrenders decision-making power to a smaller, highly motivated group, and that the right to vote must never be taken for granted. Bastien and the fulfillment of Dr. Myles Munroe's warning. A reader reflects on a prediction made by the late Dr. Myles Munroe during the 2013 gaming referendum. Dr. Munroe had warned that legalizing web shop gaming could one day create what he called a government within a government. The letter argues that although Bahamians voted against legalization in the referendum, the Christie administration legalized the industry anyway. According to the writer, this signaled the rise of enormous financial and political influence among a small group of web shop operators. The letter focuses on Sibas Bastien, who has now been approved as the Progressive Liberal Party's candidate for Fort Charlotte. The writer claims this represents the first major piece of a political jigsaw puzzle falling into place, suggesting Bastian could not only win the seat, but also eventually rise to cabinet level and possibly even lead the PLP in the future. He describes this progression as aligning with Dr. Munro's warning about the long-term influence of the gaming sector on national leadership. The letter concludes that the church must prepare itself for major political and cultural shifts if this trajectory continues. Atlantis honors long-serving employees. Atlantis celebrated staff members who have served the resort for 20, 30, and 40 years. Marilyn Russell received the prestigious Paradise Legend Award, while Patrick Strachan was recognized for 4 decades of dedication. Zonta Bahamas expands Orange the World campaign. Zonta Bahamas continued its 16 days of activism with a major outreach at Harbor Bay. The group launched a fundraising raffle to support programs for women, including scholarships, job training, and domestic violence prevention. A final event focusing on protecting vulnerable persons will be held on December 12th. Saxon Superstars Practice Rush. Bay Street lit up with music and motion last night as the Saxons held a high-energy practice rush ahead of the holiday Junkanoo season. CPC monitoring Christmas shopping complaints? The Consumer Protection Commission says it will be vigilant regarding shipping delays, online purchases, and non-delivery of goods as the holiday season peaks. The Commission is also conducting weekly inspections and offering mediation for disputes. Bahamas inflation rises in July. The Bahamas National Statistical Institute reports a 0.6% increase in the monthly inflation rate. The largest increases were seen in housing, utilities, health services, and household items. Bree warns about real estate scams. The Bahamas Real Estate Association is warning consumers about fake listings circulating on social media. The association stresses that buyers and renters should use only licensed agents, especially since scammers have been requesting upfront payments for properties that do not exist. Plato Alpha launches new HR referral program. Plato Alpha Design has introduced a referral program for its TriBlock HR and payroll platform, offering incentives to HR professionals, consultants, and accountants who refer new clients. Thank you for listening to the Guardian Highlights for Wednesday, December 3rd, 2025, brought to you by your Daily Bahamas headlines. Have a blessed and beautiful day, Bahamas. Stay safe, stay informed, and stay encouraged.